Hi guys, what is going on, and welcome back to our Victoria 3 playthrough. So if you remember last time, we're really starting to establish ourselves as a bit of an economic powerhouse. We really started to ramp up our building, and our GDP is really starting to pick up quickly. We're now the 7th largest. We are kind of catching up soon, hopefully going to overtake the British Raj, Prussia, and then we're sort of starting to get into the top 5 of the major European powers. So I think there's a few things we need to do. One, as sort of our technology has changed, it's opened up quite a few shortages, particularly things like explosives, which is what we're working on really quickly at the moment. We've also got the sort of shortages, a little bit of shortage on bureaucracy as we've incorporated more territory, so a few government administrations going up in places like the capital, which should also help a little bit with some of our tax shortages. And then we've just got a boatload of plantations that need to get built, more rice farms than you can shake a stick at. Food industries, glass works, all things that need to be coming online, more railways, and then we're going to be starting to move on to a little bit to expanding our army. We're currently only fielding 107 battalions, and when you compare to someone which has got, 20% of our GDP, they're actually fielding basically the same number. So we really need to be getting our power projection up a little bit more so we can be a little bit more assertive, because ultimately we do want to be going to war with Korea. At least that's kind of the plan. So we'll set things off. We'll try and run this game a little bit more at 5 speed now so we can make a little bit more progress, because we are going perhaps a little on the slow side. Now, interestingly, if we have a quick look at the government, the Shogunate, I'm hoping, are going to lose that last little bit of clout they need to drop below 20%, and we can take them out of government, and then we can literally be starting the proper Honourable Restoration Journal. That, at least, is kind of the plan. We have got some market access issues to solve, but the problem is the areas where they've got really sort of low market access are kind of down here in Borneo. We just got population problems, essentially. There just isn't enough people who live there. People are migrating in because there's so much demand for work, but essentially we have managed to fully staff the gold mines, but then there's quite a few buildings in some of these places. West Borneo, you've got munition plant, motor works. Some are fully employed, some places like the munition plants aren't. So we just need to try and attract more people over into some of these areas, really. Looks like our last of our chemical plants are coming online. Let's just check them out quickly. Where did we actually build them? Down here by the looks of it. Should hopefully be solving, starting to get the market price at least slightly back under control. And then with that, that should in turn mean that the arms industry, it's not the arms industry, it's the ammunition industry, munitions plants, this is going to start to come back into line. Ammunition should hopefully become a little bit more reasonable, although we're actually still way short on the amount we actually need. Although we can actually change the technology, I've just noticed. What do I want? Buildings! Buildings! Development, this. Is it going to be? No, it'll be an urban, won't it? Oh, there's loads of things to update here. Crikey. Arms, munitions plants, explosive shells. What else have we got? I just seen then down here, you should be all on these upper sections to make you more efficient. Okay, let's get all that lot in. Okay, nice. That will all help up production. Some of the places perhaps we've taken over not quite getting quite the level that I wanted. Personal failure to quit the... Yeah, fine. Happy to do that. Get a free university. That's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Let's keep on moving on through then. We lost a little bit of our investment pool transfer. That was working quite nicely for us for a while. We've got quite a stack of a building queue. About 3 years worth of stuff to actually get through at the moment. This government administration, as this comes online, should deal with a little bit some of our tax waste, because we're losing 5% of tax essentially just wasted for no real good reason. And I suppose we have also got to decide what is our next play. I don't think we're quite strong enough to really deal with China, unfortunately. We could look at maybe a play against someone like Mindanao. Nope, that's on this one. What are they demanding this? Why can't we do that? Oh, I have a truce with them until 1884. What's the year? Oh, December, so not actually that long. Could push down here, but we'll face the Dutch East Indies again, but then maybe that's not so much of a problem. I don't want to go, obviously, go into war with the French. That's a little bit too much of a stronger enemy to deal with. I don't know if the French have successfully conquered... Oh, yeah, they conquered Bangkok. Yeah, so they have... Crikey, there's so much going on. So many pop-ups. Oh, nice. We've got a labour movement came unlocked. Nice. It's not a bad thing. Increasing the expected standard of living. But our standard of living has been kind of creeping up slowly, which is not a bad thing for us. And that's kind of what's been reducing at least some of our radicals or keeping radicalisation under control. So that's why we've not really had any rebellion problems. Or at least nothing too bad. Oh, right. The shogunate have now dropped below 20%. So, let's not do that. So we form the government and let's kick them out. It's essentially going to mean our legitimacy drops off. And in the short term, there's nothing we can really do. Well, they're not powerful, are they? Considered powerful when their clout is above 20%, which is not. So they should now be... 2 for 10 years, the shogunate are not powerful. They're not powerful. I don't know. Surely they're not powerful because that's influential. They should just be influential, shouldn't they? It's considered powerful. Oh, because it's above 18%. Ah, moving the goalposts on me. So the industrialists must be powerful because their class is above 20. Well, hopefully this just continues to drop off then as we continue to industrialise and they can just drop below that 18% that we need. That would be ideal. There we go. Our bureaucracy is coming through. Wow, had a bit of a spike in revenue income there. Christ. Up to 93,000. Jesus. Once we've got improved fertiliser come through, I think we might have a play for steel frame buildings. Because that's going to just massively increase the amount of building capacity we have, which would be kind of cool. Let's keep plodding on through at 5 speed then. We've still got market access issues to deal with. We really need to just get through this building queue a little bit to sort out some of our market problems. I did set off more coffee plantations being built down here. I do wonder if they're going to have enough people to staff them. They're going to be pretty much out of workers really down here. It has at least brought the price of coffee down to kind of more reasonable levels, which is what we were trying to do. But, you know, hopefully we can keep that in check. Hopefully. Once we get over to December then, we shall start working on Mindanao. I think that's going to be a start to push up into the Philippines. Seems like an obvious place for us to go, I think, if we can kind of continue our expansion a little bit. What have we got building at the moment? Oh, all our tea plantations, and then just an absolute bucket load of rice farms, which should hopefully increase the amount of rice, fruit, things like that we're coming in, because we've got a little bit of a shortage on basically all of them. Our GDP is slowly creeping up nicely. We're up to the 5th most powerful economy in the world. We do at some point need to do a war to recognise for great power, because no one recognises us currently as a great power. And that is something we kind of need to do. But that is going to be a war with a European nation. It's going to be a really tough war for us to win, I think. So yeah, that's going to be a tough one. But we are going to have to, at some point, commit to that. What's the price of explosives? Just 5%. Good. A little bit more reasonable. The price of fertiliser is slightly killing us. Oh, we can... Oh, yeah. Decrease the amount of that. Sulphur, though, is in shortage. Where's our sulphur mine? Can anyone remember? I certainly can't. Where did we build it? Oh, down here. Let's get that up then. Because, yeah, price of sulphur is getting a little bit high. I think we've probably got infrastructure issues down here. We have. Let's, in the short term, try and solve this just with a decree. I think let's do improved roads, whatever it is. Emergency road maintenance. That should, in the short term, get market access up a little bit more, which is no longer powerful. Hey, okay, we should now be starting to move along. The shogunate are collapsing. The industrialists are coming up. The intelligentsia are coming up. So, 10 years. Basically what we've got to do. 10 years to go. And then we can do the honourable restoration. Yeah, same with low legitimacy. Well, we do know that. Russia has begun embargoing Prussia. Understandable. Another month or two, and then we can actually think about trying to declare war on Mindanao. Hopefully no one else really gets involved, and then we can think about maybe pressuring the Spanish from there at some point in the future, as our kind of empire gets a little bit stronger, hopefully. All our vast rice farm expansion is coming online. All of which should help provide a little bit more GDP. I suppose it's not going to be a main producer, to be honest. But it will make up a chunk. It looks like, to be honest, it's just tools are the main thing that we actually produce out here. And this is something we are going to have to continue to expand because they're still overpriced. And we're actually not using like water-filled boilers in a lot of stuff. So that is something we can upgrade. Violence against the hand people. Yeah, order must be restored. We don't own either of those regions, so that doesn't help us, them finding rubber there. Price of ammunition reasonable, price of clippers creeping up slightly, but nothing else really getting too out of control. If we go and have a look at our market pricing, what have we got? Artillery is perhaps our biggest problem. Food production, coffee, we kind of know that's a problem. That's why I was trying to build more coffee plantations, but I've essentially run out of people. Food and alcohol will kind of be solved together. I've got some of them actually queued up at the moment to go through, so that shouldn't be a massive problem. Luxury clothes we know is a problem. Hardwood we know is a problem. The clothes are actually becoming a bit of a problem, just in general. Yeah, prices of that are really starting to creep up. Let's do a good expansion of the clothes industry. I mean, that's going to add quite a lot onto our queue list, but as we get through. Glassworks we've obviously got coming up, but we know glass is massively overpriced. 26% we know is a problem. And that's kind of making other things more expensive, particularly things like our service industry, which is what adds cost onto our government administration. That's kind of a problem. As you get in the idea, we've got a lot of problems to deal with. But we should actually now be able to make our diplomatic play, potentially. Can we conquer Mindanao? Oh, well, our nations are too high. Oh, Christ almighty. They really don't want to let us to go war. Where's damage relations? Damage relations with Mindanao. Yeah, because our relations are cordial. Is there anyone else we can go to war with? I mean, oh, the Dutch East Indies have lost a lot of... What's going on there? Well, if they've kind of lost a lot of strength... What buildings have we got here? Logging camps. Well, we do need them, technically. Rice farms, coffee, tea, banana. I mean, there's not a great deal there, is there? How many people is there? 162. Well, it's not going to make us rich, but land is land, isn't it? So I think we'll do it. So let's make our diplomatic play there. So let's mobilise our battalions. Yeah, the Dutch obviously immediately get involved. I could almost do with a third commander, couldn't we? Because the Dutch are splitting themselves across 1,000,001 different places. Go there then. And then we'll mobilise you. You will advance you to... Which one is it? That one. And then hopefully the Dutch will race troops back down there. East New Guinea has discovered rubber. Oh, nice. Is the Dutch East Indies are busy colonising here as well now? I'm trying to colonise this place, not you. Okay, well, let's mobilise the troops down there. Obviously, they're going to introduce... Yes. Ah! Oh, I give it up. Trying to get rid of all the notifications. So the Portuguese are going to get involved as well. It's not going to be a super easy fight here, I don't think. Dutch are going to throw their troops in over there. No one else really is immediately swaying towards them. Let's see as we get through to the next phase if that's going to be a problem for us. And see... Just got to be careful they don't sway anyone big. That's the only thing we've really got to watch out for. Can offer a lot of obligation to the Netherlands. I mean, I don't really need them. If it's just going to be kind of this, which should be okay. Our troops, 26 days, and then they should arrive. You know, Portugal is going to move troops in down there. It's probably going to be a chunk of a fight, isn't it? Who's just got swayed? Oh, just a nobody. Not too worried about that. At least the Dutch have got a few less troops now. They've obviously been struggling a little bit more recently. If they still got the 100 troops or so, then I think we'd be in more trouble. But we might get away with this. Let's let things continue to play out as we go through our diplomatic phase. Just make sure no one big Peasant revolt broke out somewhere. Looks like our little food industries are coming online. That should also solve our drinks problem, hopefully. Artillery is obviously in very short supply. Why is that short supply? I can't speak today. And arms, I suppose it's because as well we're actually going to war, so... a few other people starting to get in... yeah, I don't want to get involved in another war. Can everyone stop joining them? I'm tempted to call in the Netherlands. Oh, literally as I was thinking about that, look, we've just got a new technology. Shell cannons. Arms industry. Smoothbore. Less more arms, more cannons. Nice. Do we want to call for the Netherlands aid or not? To just owe them an obligation. Let's do it. Let's sway them to us if we can. I don't want to end up getting caught into just a hyper long war that we are struggling to win. That's the problem, I suppose. That is the problem. We've got a proportional taxation law trying to be passed. Oh, the Netherlands has joined. Nice, 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 nice. We should be coming towards the end of the sway phase. Why is that paused for a few days? Because the Netherlands joined, I suppose. SAC began conscription. So the Portuguese have got troops down. Oh, the Dutch have got a few troops down here. So if we actually got over here, just the Dutch. So where are the Portuguese deployed to them? Because they're still involved in this war, right? They are. Where are the Portuguese? Oh, down here. Right, makes sense. We still have the advantage on pretty much all fronts, so we should be okay. It's just going to be a bit of a slog actually getting this to kick off, I think. That is going to be the problem. What's giving you a little bit of fire speed? Get through the diplomatic opening phases and see where we end up. Yeah, tools are too expensive. Well, we know that's going to be the case. So everyone else, no one else seems to be getting involved. What are tools priced? Yeah, they are a little bit on the expensive side. Let's just knock a few more of them into the production queue, which has still got absolutely ages to go. Hopefully everyone starts to declare neutrality, because war's imminently going to be breaking out. Oops, and there we go. We're an obligation to the Netherlands. War is on. So, next question then. Where, if anywhere, are the Netherlands actually deploying to? I don't know. Right, so we're going to get some battles breaking out. Let's just go for a smidge of 3 speed. We obviously, I don't know what the quality of these enemy troops is going to be like. It's the Dutch that are probably going to be the biggest problem for us. We've obviously only got 1 garrison unit defending here, but our defence is so superior we should hopefully be okay. We'll see. Over here then we're pushing. We're going to lose, but you see we've got a much solider sort of offence now than we actually used to have. Down here, how are we looking? Tacking a little bit down, we've got a bit of a poor visibility modifier, which isn't ideal. So let's leave these to start to make some of their pushes. Over time, we should start to think about making good progress. A steam donkey might be an important one. Let's just have a quick building look. What does that do? More coal, more engines, a lot less labourers. The only one I'm going to throw that on initially is the gold mines, because a lot of our gold mining states are struggling for labourers. That may actually increase the sort of amount of gold we get them for minting, which would be kind of nice to know. We should also be getting a technology coming through soon for fertilised farms as well, which will be pretty good. And then after that, quite a few people mentioned about using ironclads. So I think that's something that we probably want to be thinking about next. Oh, nice. We obviously pushed through one of the fronts, which is good. Hopefully driving back the Dutch. There we go. There goes our improved fertilisation. So this should open fertilisers. We should hopefully push the price of fertiliser up because it's been in quite low supply, although maybe it's going to push it up a little bit too much. It should be on slaughterhouses anyway. Don't think we've got anything else that's going to benefit from fertilizers, is it? Because that's a much later innovation for all the plantations and stuff. You should all be on sawmills, I'll grant you. Okay, right, so that should improve the amount of production our farms are doing. Let's just go for ironclad then for now, and then I think we'll go for steel framed buildings after that. You can see our honourable restoration is starting to tick up nicely. Oh, we're smashing through here actually on the main, which is nice. Good, good, good. We should actually win that battle in East Borneo there. Don't know if that's going to push them back completely. Probably not, but it's going to keep making us progress as we start to push through, which is nice. We're struggling a lot more down here. Don't quite have the strength of the numbers, and I think the Portuguese are putting up a much stiffer fight. Oh, we've got the Netherlands fighting over down there. That's why it sort of pulled away some of the divisions of the Dutch because of that, which kind of makes sense. Losses are obviously stacking up already, which is why war support isn't great actually for either side at the moment. But we should be okay because we should continue making progress. Even here, you see, we're probably going to lose, but we are doing quite a chunk of damage. And as we push through their divisions, as they start to run lower and lower, we should be good. Looks like we've got our glass work starting to come online as well. We should solve eventually some of our glass problems because there have been quite a shortage of glass recently. There we go, our production picking up there as well, which is good. Minting looking pretty good. I think everything's looking pretty good at the moment. The clout of the shogunate is now just falling to pieces. Oh, it doesn't progress when we're going to be at peace as well. Jesus, never easy, never easy. Let's keep the pressure on, and hopefully the Netherlands are pushing the Dutch over here as well. All in all, looking pretty tasty. It's the Portuguese who are causing us the most problems. Damn them and their professional armies. Why can't they have a crappy army like the rest of the world? Yeah, looks like we're going to win here. So as we're taking more and more land, look, we're starting to drive them back now. So we should actually be okay. And that's why their war score is seriously dropping off. Which is good for us. Which is good for us. We're going to be getting some more barracks coming online as well, which should start to give us access to a few more troops. Another 5 divisions will get coming through. We know states are in turmoil. Well, that's fine. It's just all the Borneos. Why are you just in turmoil? Just because you're unhappy, I suppose. Not really a lot I can do about that. Low market access. Yeah, we have got a little bit of this to deal with. Let's just quickly pause and have a quick look at that. So, market access. You have got trains being built. You're okay. You're okay. You're nowhere near okay. You have got a train being built, I think, but I think, to be honest, you're going to need a few more. And let's face it, this motor industry's probably cost of trains is just absolutely skyrocketing. We're going to need more engines, so what's that? 87, so you're not okay either. So you need probably another 2 trains. What's your 49 of 90, so you are okay. You're not okay. Christ. And you sort of are okay, but probably wouldn't mind another one, although you're probably running out of employees, aren't you? Well, they've nearly staffed the wheat farms now. I think the number of people moving in is sort of growing quite rapidly, so they should be able to fill those jobs eventually. That was the one we built all those wheat farms, and it kind of caused us almost more problems than we intended because we slightly over-created the jobs. So you should then move... Oh, they've moved to this front over here, where all the Dutch are. Nice. Okay, well, all in all, I'd say we are looking pretty good. Oh, the Netherlands pushed through there on the corner of the island as well. Oh, dreamy. I don't suppose we can add any war goals, can we? No, I should have thought of that at the start. I forgot about that. Could have maybe added another war goal against the Dutch or something to try and finish off taking this island a little bit. But hey-ho, too late now. Yeah, we're not going to push through them there, but ultimately we don't need to. Peace will be forthcoming quite shortly here, hopefully. And our GDP continuing to grow nicely. I'm pleased that the shogunate has just completely collapsed. Improve relations. There we go. There we go. Conquer East Borneo. So everyone can stand down. What does that form? It just forms part of wider East Borneo, which is fine. Opens up more logging camps and various stuff. We are probably going to suffer a bit of a population crisis, to be honest, because we just don't have enough people there and there's too many buildings. And they're all going to be a bit unhappy about it anyway. But there we go. Nothing we can do. Japanese Borneo is growing. It is growing. I think at some point we just need a direct conflict with the Dutch. I assume we actually have that option, do we? Why can't we actually doing it? Oh, we have a truce with them to 1891. I owe an obligation to the Netherlands, even though the Netherlands just went to... Is that using my obligation? I'm not sure. But either way, it improves relations. Once our relations are less than cordial with Mindanao, that'll be perhaps our next target going forwards. Where are we then on our building queue? How are things looking? Munitions plants should be coming along soon. And we've got all our arms industries. Loads of stuff coming through, which is kind of nice. Yeah, price of train engines going up. Price of fertilizer has absolutely gone through the bloody roof. It was all being manufactured at our explosives plant. I don't even know where I've built that. Where's my chemical plant? Here. That'll increase fertilizer production a little bit. It's not going to solve my problem, but it's not going to do any harm. Explosives have now crashed down to low. Dayak separatist cultures are growing. It's not actually that many people. Started a secession movement. What does that mean? What are you people doing? Why are you causing me so many problems? Should we use a little bit of authority to... Well, we can actually probably cancel the violent suppression there. Move it on down here. Because the turmoil here, 49, 30, 55. And these people just aren't very happy, are they? They are not loving life, if I'm honest. There's still a population shortage on there. Did we sell any more of the iron? There's just not enough people living in New Zealand, is there? West New Guinea, which we don't actually own. We are slowly growing our colony a little bit, but it's just not very big down here. This is never going to exactly really do anything particularly useful. There's a rubber rush. Nice. Is actually rubber rush down here in anywhere that I own? No, of course there isn't. Nothing would be so helpful. Well, oh Christ. Why are you having such input good shortages? What the hell has gone on down here? What? Where's... What? What has just happened? Is it because we've just run out of fertilizer? Have I just created the world's largest fertilizer shortage? I think it actually might be. Let's import some fertilizer then. Fertilizer. Let's just do that briefly. I think I've just caused a massive crisis of materials. And then it might be because then the lack of... What? It might be the lack of road maintenance. Oh, they've got a road maintenance crew down here already. Gah. The problem is no one lives in this bloody province. Let's just start to think about knocking a few things down to try and free up some of these people. The furniture manufacturer thinks he's actually profitable. We've got a gold mine, which should be profitable. Why is no one working in the railways? I know it's not particularly exciting or anything, but let's move you back. Because this is taking minus infrastructure. Only at 30. Surely there's no reason there should be such input goods shortages. You've got full market access. And we actually have got an uprising going on. Oh, Christ almighty. What is happening? Let's just send in the army. Which is literally in a civil war. Why do you make my life so difficult? Come on, here we go. Let's just push the troops in. Well, I don't think anyone else is going to get involved. I hope not. I'll be very annoyed if they do. Let's just push through all this lot then. I want to just declare neutrality. I guess it's just because we're in civil war then. That's why there's sort of all the trouble that we're having. Never easy, this game. Never easy. Rubber discovered in Java. Ah. Christ almighty. We do need to up the amount of fertiliser we're producing though. I mean, that is a separate problem that we probably do need to deal with. We should be producing fertiliser from some of these, which we are. So let's just whack another 20 on that. That'll increase fertiliser production. So the civil war will break out and we should just be able to crush them really quite easily. It should be a massive problem for us, I don't think. But I don't want to get involved in any other little fights or civil wars. Not at the moment, please. Thank you. Yeah, 2 arms. We should absolutely just flatten them in one fight, hopefully. Yeah. Far superior to the mere rabble of conscripts from North Borneo. Let's push them through. Nice, just pushing them along straight away. There we go, we should then get another fight. Just pushing them straight back every time. It's obviously causing damage and not exactly ideal. I suppose because this needs North Borneo for trade access and because it's in civil war, that's what's causing us problems. Not quite sure how these people thought it was going to particularly go necessarily well for them. There we go, should push through. Fine. Leave them to it. It should be over before too long. We're just pushing them around now. The general keeps moving every 5 seconds. Because of where he's pushing them through into different paths, splitting up the different areas. Yeah, so this is completely isolated, because it's the only region that's not in the civil war. But there we go, like you can see it's kind of like collapsing completely. They shall never resist the might of Japan. How dare they try and revolt against us. Yeah, I don't mind the intelligentsia having slightly more support. Have we built our extra engines yet? No. How long have they got on the queue? Okay, they're down there after a few railways. Have got to get them up because they're getting quite costly. We have got an awful lot of gold at the moment, 11.1 million. I've got a little bit carried away on the old gold front. There we go. Yeah, just smashing through them. Look, they'll surrender very, very promptly. 98. In another week or so, that'll be them completely done. There we go. We crushed the revolt. And that should solve the input goods shortages, which it does. Probably hasn't helped my population very much, to be honest. But hey ho, nothing we can do about that. Right, okay, let's have a look then. I suspect we were getting so much money from the industrialists. Cost% investment pool contribution. Yeah, I think that's what it must have been when they were very happy. That's probably why that was. Our honourable restoration is slowly plodding along. I don't think we'll get there this episode, but certainly next time I think we will. And our army is slowly growing a little bit as well. We'll probably pick some areas where we've got quite a decent population but not a lot going on. Maybe down here, there must be a lot of peasants here. Let's just max that out. Start to really up the size of our army. We're starting to become a new great power. And our GDP should continue to grow. There shouldn't be anyone else who can really face off against us. Yeah, we're the kind of becoming clearly number 5. Austria is quite a long way still in the lead, I suppose. But beyond that, things are looking pretty good. Have we got much infamy? No, not really. We've not really caused too much trouble. It's going to be dealing with China, I suppose, is still our biggest problem. Because they are still a pretty dominant market force against us. Siam is getting caught into a bit of a war, but again, we don't really want to deal with that. That's something for the French to deal with. Yeah, radical Siam is breaking out a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we know we've got shortages on there. On the railways, which is something we can deal with. Got our arms industry coming through. Everything else, things starting to get a little bit more reasonable price-wise. Got some tooling workshops coming through. I think we've got a few more queued up. Although maybe we just need to keep kind of ramping these up. Keep building more and more. It's one of our main sources of GDP, actually, is just our tool industry. It's just so extreme. I don't think we've got anything else we can upgrade materials-wise here at the moment. How's our steel industry looking actually at the moment? Is that still... Actually needs to expand a little bit more as well. Let's knock the steel industry up a little bit more. Once we eventually get onto steel frame buildings, that's just going to absolutely... Our demand for steel is just going to absolutely go through the roof. A psychiatry unlocked. Oh, nice. Cool. 10% diplomatic influence supposedly makes a difference on bureaucracy, which it did. Which is nice. We have now quite an excess of bureaucracy, which is kind of cool. Solve that problem. And we're still making a really good profit monetarily as well. Definitely want to get the steel frame buildings on so we can be a little bit more efficient with that. You know, we could go back to war with something, but then I suppose while we're at war, our honourable restoration isn't ticking along. So I'm kind of tempted just to wait and build up. Particularly if we can build up the army preparing for our invasion of Japan. Of Korea, sorry. We probably should build naval bases somewhere else as well, actually. This is probably an area with a large peasant population. It is, it is, it is. Let's get our naval base built up there. It's going to cost us quite a lot. But then we'll get them all converted over then to ironclads. That's kind of the idea. More loyalists coming through. And we had radicals creep up a little bit. Hopefully just from standard of... From Pops dying. Oh, it's because we killed them all in the Civil War. But our standard of living really is starting to creep up now. Standard of living in the capital is not too bad. They are impoverished, I suppose, but it is creeping up. God, they've really got market access problems. Have they got more railways being built? Genuinely? No. Are we sorting out the motor industries a little bit? It's still way overpriced, though. So we just never seem to get through our building queue. We've got so much stuff to do. Just need to get these motor industries online to kind of solve that problem, at least in the short term. And then hopefully we can continue to kind of decrease radicals. Oh, we're creeping up a little bit again. Oops. But at least our GDP is continually creeping up now. In that sense, things are looking pretty good as we continue to kind of plod through. And our honourable restoration is creeping up as well, which is nice. It's only a 10-year period, I suppose, we've actually got to get through. Just need to really keep building these. There's no reason they should be in negative money. They should be well in the positive. The price of trains at the moment is just biblically expensive. Although look at the price of steel. Why is that going up so much? Let's get these up then. Oops, too many. Let's get the steel manufacturing through because that's forcing the price of steel up super, super high, which is basically meaning the trains don't make any profit. But at least that price of those motors is coming down. And we actually need more of them when we start doing more industrialization. Start improving the efficiency of things because that is also a problem we're facing at the moment. Always something on the go. Have we now got enough clothes? Still not really. Price of silks has gone up, dye, tools. Fabric has actually gone up quite a lot. We have got somewhere some fabric manufacturing. I just can't exactly remember where. Let's build some cotton plantations over here since we're not building a lot else. Nice, that all knocks through. In theory we could make our play against Mindanao, but kind of as before, do we really want to when we're just trying to get our honourable restoration through. And I suppose we are continuously building up our economy, so kind of just a little bit of a building phase isn't necessarily a bad thing. Also, we've got rifling and something else. Ironclads. So, ironclads, yes. It's going to... More ammunition, which is fine. Price of man of wars is going to dive. Okay, so then we need to go to urban shipyards. And they're going to go to steam ships, which means clippers go to nothing, steamers go to everything. Price of steamers... Yeah, let's do that then. Just see how that balances out. Then we get rifling, which increases small arms production. Because if we go and have a look over here at our arms industry, wherever it is, then, okay, we've perhaps got a little bit carried away in terms of our overall production costs. Well, I think we can do this successfully. Right, cool. So we've now got better ships, or we will have once it's all go through. Let's get the steel frame building construction research on the way. And there we go. So we've just got to keep an eye on what our shipyards are doing. This price of steel is what's just killing everything at the moment. So nothing is using steamers. That's what we perhaps need to look at then. So shipyards, yeah, they're the manufacturers. Don't know why you're not doing that. Make sure they're all on the correct thing. They are. So what is it that's using... I suppose it's trade posts, isn't it? You really have to go through and keep checking all this stuff, don't you? Probably because every time we capture something, it's on a different different level. Logging camps, yes, you do want to be doing that. So you want steam trawlers. That's going to massively increase fish production. Trawlers go down, steamer demand goes up, which is good. That's what we want. Steam-powered whalers, again, what we want. Ports, then. Oh, yeah, a big... Convoy, should have done that ages ago. Yeah, we know we've got that mix, that's fine. But what about trade centres? Does that make any difference, or do they have no say in the method? No, they don't have any say in the method. God, this is all a little bit confusing, isn't it? So ironclads are saying the demand actually isn't that high and we're producing way more, although we have got loads of naval bases coming on through. I think we don't really need to push production through any more than that, do we really? So what is it we're producing? Is it steam ships in general are being overproduced? Steamers. So we're producing 103 of them from shipyards. Fishing wharfs and whaling stations are using some. But ports obviously aren't. So why don't ports use clippers? See, that's a problem, isn't it? So now we've got a massive production problem. And then the price of steamers is going to skyrocket. What do we need more of? You're just producing nothing. That's the wrong thing. That's because that's a cargo port. So we need a shipyard. Maybe I'll leave you on steamer production. I wish I could do sort of a half and half. Let's put you on reinforced wooden ships then, which should mean the price of steamers will absolutely skyrocket, which means you should start producing them. Let's put you just on civilian shipbuilding. Will that work for us? Let's just wait till this comes online. I don't actually need that many. We might be able to fulfill all the steamer demands. Yeah, we won't. No point murdering them all quite yet. At least wait until they break out into civil war. Hopefully the price of steel has come back more reasonable. Yeah, which it is. Yes, that's going to fulfill our steamer production need, I think. Which is fine. So then clippers. Yes, we're producing an excess of clippers, which is forcing the price down, but fine. That solves the ports problem. Steamers were actually relatively neutral on, which is good. We're actually producing an excess of them just from that one place. And then balance for ironclads. Are we no longer producing ironclads? Oh, you can't have that. So what do we need to do then? This port needs to go up by 2. And that needs to be built immediately. And then this port can then do extensive military shipbuilding. And then that will solve the ironclad and the problem with the steamers as well, hopefully. Christ, never easy. This has made things really complicated, the fact that we're sort of caught in this half and half. And then at some point we're going to end up switching over fully to steamers, and there's going to be like a massive crisis because we're going to have way too many port buildings. But there we go, nothing we can do about it now. At some point we will get on to building obviously all the naval bases as well. We've got queued up as well, so that will kind of do part of it as well. But that's kind of a problem for another day in many ways. Have we now annoyed Mindanao enough to declare war on them? No. God damn it. It's not exactly what I wanted. I still would like to be able to go to war with the Dutch East Indies, but yeah, we cannot. Oh, a little state down here we can go to war with as well, actually. It's been a bit of a slow old grind, hasn't it? Slowly grinding our way through Borneo. It's not been as easy as you might initially think. We're still slowly growing our colony down here. Study Dutch East Indies is just a massive pain for us. I really want to go to war with them and try and just crush them. But the fact that we now own a province with the Netherlands is not particularly helpful. These guys are still in a customs union with China. We obviously don't know the quality. An army power projection of 4,500. What's our army? Oh, 886. Yeah, okay. We may be a little bit behind on the power projection. And I'm not entirely convinced we can definitely get the British involved. Although maybe we should just start trying to improve relations again with the British. Oh, are less than amicable. Oh, they really don't like us, do they? Is anyone who likes us? French, I suppose, is our only option. Try and get relations up there enough that we can kind of rely on them in a future war with China. I still don't know what else we can really do. I mean, we need to go to war with them eventually. It's probably just all we can do, really. How are we looking on some of our pricing? Okay, ironclads are fine. Steamers are fine. And presumably clippers are fine, wherever they have got to. Clippers? Where are my clippers? Absolutely, yeah. There's really not that much demand for them at all. Ah, dear. It should, in theory, mean that... no, I'm definitely not a defensive pact with you. That our naval bases, though, wherever they are, naval base, naval base, naval base. So these things are all ironclads now, and they obviously should have sufficient productions. That should make a real big difference to their kind of offensive and defensive power and our naval power projection. Which is nice. It's always a good thing. And that should push through. And that should give us a much more powerful navy for sort of future naval-born kind of conquest. Oh, we've really flown through all those army bases, haven't we? Crikey. I think I do want to recruit a third general. Peasants or samurai. Meticulous. Offensive planners probably is what we want more than anything. We'll have you. I'm relatively happy for you to be a fairly small part, to be honest. We do need to build more barracks somewhere, though. Where have we got a lot of spare population? Here we have. And I don't think we built any barracks here, have we? Oh, we have. So we'll max that one out. It's got to look for the areas with the large population that's not really doing anything, I suppose. Max you out. You've got quite a lot of population, but you actually kind of got quite a lot going on. There's actually that much going on down here. got a few of those queued up. We should hopefully then fly through these naval bases. They really don't take long to build at all, do they? Look at that, they absolutely fly through. Actually means our production queue really isn't that long anymore. Japanese, Mindanao gets employment. No, all hands build the future. Intelligentsia are getting relatively powerful. Actually become more powerful than the industrialists. Which wasn't quite actually what I had in mind. Hey ho. Still got a few radicals kicking around. Our standard of living is still creeping up though, so it should be the case that we should be okay. We are comfortably now into 5th. I don't know if we're necessarily catching up. God, if only I could speak English. Catching up any of the major European powers, but we are certainly holding our own as we're growing. And so that's kind of a pretty good thing, I think, for us. And our army is starting to get quite a bit larger now as we smash through everything. Basically, all our naval bases have just been built. We'll smash through some of these cotton plantations, and then we kind of should be through to the other side already. I mean, I don't know what else we've got militarily we could start researching. We've got repeaters coming through. I think field works, 10% army defence, modern nursing, a war exhausting from casualties. Do we have, where is, oh, trench works is then a tier 4. Well, that's quite a long way off yet from that. So we're not going to get our sort of major military upgrade, at least for a few years yet. And I suppose that makes sense because we're still in basically 1890, so it's going to be a while till that sort of all pushes its way through. If we did go to war with Japan at the moment, Korea, then I suppose we still do drag in the, It could be very difficult to make this play. We'll probably try and keep it as a puppet, really, more than actually sort of directly control it, but it would be difficult. Oh, electricity generation increased. That's going to change possibly quite a lot. What does that affect? Maybe it doesn't affect anything. I saw it changed for, was it wheat farms? Rice farms? Oh, you could use that anyway. Livestock farms? Oh, we have a, oh, we completely skipped barbed wire fences. Go straight to electric fences. Uses iron and then electricity. Huh. We don't have any electricity built anywhere, do we? Is that something we build down here? Power plants. Let's get one of these online then. Produces electricity. Yeah, okay. Interesting, interesting. Where have we got that's not all that urbanised? Surely on some of our urbanised Japanese shogunate, we're up to 40%. Interestingly, these are now fully staffed? No. Because to urbanise, it's everyone at what, 5? Greater or equal to 5. I suppose because we've incorporated a lot of extra territory, haven't we? Well, let's get a couple of power plants online. That's certainly not going to do us any harm. We'll start to knock our way through our railway works. We've got our barracks coming online. And we're actually starting to increase the admiralty as well. Look, you can see the training rate is a lot better than it kind of it was before as well. And there we go. And the barracks should actually knock through really kind of fairly quickly. Yeah, you can see that that's going to smash through. Increases the number of divisions up and down really quite quickly. I didn't realise it was actually so quick to start deploying the barracks to get new divisions on. I didn't realise they were going to train quite so quickly. I thought it was going to be something that takes quite a long time to build. But look, you can see it's basically with our building production that we have. We just absolutely fly through the barracks and we can see the power plants coming up already. Just absolutely get flown through. It's obviously going to cost us a bit in terms of our military wages. It's probably actually going to skyrocket. And probably we're going to end up causing supply problems in terms of, you know, things like barracks and stuff. And actually, look at the price of furniture. I have just noticed. It's crazy. Where are we building our furniture? I thought it was in the capital, but maybe it is not. Textile tooling, paper mills, steel mills. Is that our main furniture manufacturer there? Furniture, furniture, furniture. It actually is. No wonder why it's not doing much. It's barely got anyone working at it. That can have a significant expansion, can't it? And there we go. Well, I'm pleased our sort of army production is increasing fairly significantly. We don't have any sort of reserve battalions. I think these have got still room to kind of accommodate more, at least at the moment. If they get full, then we'll promote the second general to get him higher. But we have like some of the major armies and then kind of the army that goes off on a little stray island somewhere to draw some of the enemy troops away. Nice. I think our power really is starting to increase a fair bit now. And we've got our power plant starting to come online. Well, I think we shall end this episode here. We are up to 5th of our GDP. You can see how we're really starting to accelerate away. I think we really need to start to commit to sort of a fairly major war at some point to start to make some progress. But I mean, we could also do with getting recognised. I mean, that's something else maybe we should be going for. Who could we force recognition? See, these people are all allied with each other. USA. The only people who are going to get involved is Britain, but they don't really like us. For the Italians, Siam, Egypt, Morocco. Christ. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. So we obviously can't do Russia because the British like them. Prussia, possibly. But we don't know what the sort of diplomatic response is going to be from some of these other places. So it's going to make it really, really difficult. And if we know we're going to be facing off against the Chinese because the Koreans are in a customs union with them, unless we can guarantee we can get the French involved, then it's going to be pretty difficult. It's going to be pretty difficult. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Next episode, I'm sure we'll complete our honourable restoration. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next one.